2016-2017 CUS NBL Conference Championship. Couple things we're going to go over first. Your right, my left. Championship back. You guys win the championship, you get to take it home, you get to hang it up in your gym, you get to keep it. Alright? That's for yours for all time. The championship trophy, pretty much a belt. It's going to be a rotating belt. Got 12 slots on the side. You win it this year, I'll get the plate engraved, I'll send it out to you, you get it put on, you get to keep it for a year. Next year this time, you bring the belt back to me, it goes back up for grabs. Alright? It's good for 12 years. So instead of having to buy a trophy each year to hand out, it's going to sit in a trophy case for the whole year. Something a little different. I wanted to do something different. That's the idea I kind of kicked around and got voted on, and pretty much that's what people said yes to. So that's what's up for grabs. The bracket will be posted outside the doors of the gym. I'll be updating it as we go along. That way everybody knows where everybody is, everybody knows what the score was, everybody knows who's moving on, everybody knows what time the games are. Administrative note, when you walk in the gym, the first court right there, court 1, the far court on the other side of the drop down is court 2. So that way you know where you play and whatever's going on there. So, t-shirts. I have t-shirts for 13 teams. 12 of them will go to everybody. The red ones. The blue ones will go to the champions. The one to make a difference this year. So I just said champions. I'm not the one right there, that one right there, that's fine. So I will not be handing out the t-shirts until you're put out. Come see me, I'll give you your t-shirts, and if you want to hang around, you hang around. If you want to go, you go. But because I don't know who's the champ going to be, so I can't give out t-shirts and then turn around and say, oh, I need those back coats because here's your blue ones, and the guy that left yesterday, I got to give him his. So I'm going to wait till the end for the t-shirts. For those of y'all that just were standing outside, whatever you knew, I just had a little officials meeting. So I will tell you about the officials real quick. All the officials that will be here for this tournament are either Division I, Division II, NAIA, or junior college officials. Okay? So these are all college level officials because we have college level ball players. I was not going to go out and get any intramural ball players. That's not the way that I roll. So I told y'all during the year, at your all locations, it was up for you guys to go ahead and get the officials. Now that we're here, it was on me. This is what I'm providing. With that being said, I'll tell you like I told them. They're going to go ahead and let you as coaches ask questions, okay? They're not going to let you be demonstrative. They're not going to let you come 20 feet outside your box. They will not answer statements. They will answer questions, okay? So, they're going to give you all a little bit of leeway. But if you take that leeway and hang yourself with it, best be knowing you might get put in your box, right? They're not going to be officials that are going to be big egoed and turn around and say, well, I'm bigger than the game and I'm bigger than you, coach, I can't talk to you, okay? You ask the questions, they're going to give you a response. All right? You might not like the response or the answer that they give you, but they're going to at least talk to you. So, but with that being said, don't take that as, well, you can just do whatever you want, say whatever you want, go wherever you want on the court, because they will put you in your place. So I told them the same thing to give you guys a little bit of leeway, because we all know what we're fighting for here. Top 2 teams go on to the military nationals down at Lackland in May. So I told them the coach is going to be a little chippy. You know, they'll try to work in y'all. The players are going to be playing hard. I said this is college level ball, so you know, give them a little bit of leeway. They were like, okay, understood. So they asked me to tell you guys though, make sure they know though, you know, don't be too so demonstrative. I got to turn around and warn them 3-4 times, and we will hit them up. I'm like, cool, fair. So told them I told you, I told you, I told them. Those that haven't seen it already, down the side here to the right, you'll see 2 double doors. That's the practice facility. That's where we're playing our games for today and tomorrow. Across the hall, in the big gym, is Sunday. The games will be live streamed. So the guy for the live stream will be down here on Saturday evening sometime tomorrow. He'll come do his setup, and then he'll have 2 announcers, 2 color broadcast announcers, and he has 3 cameras, one over each goal that he puts and one that he puts up in the back. And that'll be live streamed. Who does not have or doesn't know about already the live stream link? You know, the same place. All right, I will give me after this. I'll give it to y'all. It's just one simple URL. Our league logo will be on there. Click it, and it'll go live as of 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So that's when he's going to do the quarterfinal game, the 2 semifinals, and the championship game, and the if game if we have that. So I know I put it out on the Facebook page. I tried to send it out to as many people as I could remember to. So That way, if people that couldn't make the trip, you guys make it a Sunday, you guys can go ahead and send it out to them, and then they can go ahead and watch you guys. And I've had a couple, Fort Carson CG had asked about it, Tinker Air Force Base Wing Commander had asked about it, so you guys can still got time to push it back out to them to do what they need to do. Okay, a couple of the rule things. Let's go over that real quick. We all know we're playing NCAA Division I men's rules. So 2 20-minute halves with a 10-minute halftime. All right? We're going to have 4 fulls and 2 30s like we do for the regular season and everything. The arc is on the ground for the practice facility and on the big court. So we're going to use it. So the block charge arc, for those of y'all who don't know what I'm talking about, that 4-foot arc for the men, 3-foot for the women, that's on the ground under the basket, is in play, as well as the shot clocks. So we're going to have the shot clocks, we're going to have the arc. That makes it a little bit easier for officials because your guy's got his heels on the arc. I don't care if he's been there all day, he gets run over, it's a block. So tell your players, make sure they're outside of that arc for the charge. Okay? Another thing with NCAA Division I men's rules, and it was kind of enforced this year a little bit or not, depending on the officials you had at your locations, was the timeout situations. So the coaches during a live ball cannot call timeout. So let's define a live ball versus a dead ball. Ball's on the court, players dribbling, shot goes up in the air and everything, whatever. Or if the ball's at the player's disposal while he's out of bounds, it's considered a live ball. But once the official turns his hands to the player, it's a live ball. The moment the ball goes through the hoop, before the player picks it up, or when the ball goes out of bounds, it is a dead ball. Coach can call a timeout during a dead ball. So as soon as that ball goes to the hoop and you're screaming timeout, timeout, they can turn around and grant it to you. If you wait till the player picks up, starts running the baseline, 4 seconds, trying to call timeout for the bench, you ain't gonna get it. That's a live ball. So while the ball's on the court and while the ball's at the player's disposal, is a live ball. I want to make sure everybody understands that, so we don't get into live ball, dead ball versus whatever. That's why I'm doing this now, to make sure everybody understands what it is. So it should make it clear. And the officials know that as well. So you can only call it during live ball, players have to call it during, you can call it during the dead ball, players have to call it during the live ball. Scores table. Leave the scores tables alone. Head coaches especially. You have an assistant coach. If they need to check something in the scores table, do it during a dead ball, do it during a timeout. If there's a discrepancy as far as the score or something, get with the official during a dead ball or call a timeout and then go ahead and let them take care of that at that point. The official book is the official book. Regardless, they might make a mistake, just like the officials might make a mistake, like we might miss some shots or whatever. So leave the score table as part of the official's crew. Leave them alone. Okay? You might be able to ask questions, how many foul shots does have? They might answer you fine. I have some experienced people for the class. Again, they're all volunteers. So some are good, some are okay, some are going to take a little getting used to. Some aren't used to this kind of an environment, especially Sunday when we go in a big arena where you're putting it's a 10,000 seat arena. You put 1,500 people in there, people get nervous. Okay? So, if you got a question for them, whatever, wait for a dead ball, wait for a timeout. Maybe correction of a foul or something like that. But the officials have already asked me to ask you guys, that's their scores table, they're part of the crew, leave them alone. So, besides that. All right, at this time, I told you I'm not going to keep y'all too long. I'm going to open up to any questions that anybody has about this weekend, about the tournament, about anything, and then I'll talk about moving forward in the next year, because there are a couple things I have for you guys.
Okay, so the higher seed is the home team?
There you go. High seed is the home team wears their whites. So if you got a 2-12 matchup or a 9-8, 8-9 matchup, the 8 seed is the home team.
Does it matter? Can we work it out with the other team?
I put that out before.
I like black. So.
I feel you. What's your home colors?
White and black. I like black.
I know, but what's your home? Your home is okay. Well, then that's what you wear. Hey, either that or coming as the 13th team next year. You can wear black all the way through.
They don't mind being light. I'm cool.
I'm just saying. No, because I need to keep uniformity across the board. That way, there's no. Well, Al said he liked to wear black, and I got 2 teams on the floor with dark colored uniforms. I got 2-hour blocks in between the games. We know our games usually run about an hour and a half, so I gave time in between for overtime, coaching strategies, last 2 minutes of the game, whatever. So yeah, higher seed in the home, wear your whites. Any other questions? None? Really? Are you serious? Y'all making this too easy. Okay.
Basketball, man.
I know, right? It's pretty simple. All right, let's talk about the way forward for next year. First off, like I said, I want to thank you guys because it was pretty much 1 year ago today that I didn't have you all in front of me. I had about 4 or 5, and the other 4 or 5 were on the phone as they were driving in the night before the tournament last year. At that time, nobody wanted to pick up the league. The 2 current commissioners at that time were stepping down, so I suggested that I pick it up, and everybody was okay with that. Everybody knew that I was an assistant coach for Fort Riley. Everybody was okay with that. So I think we did a pretty good job this year as far as there wasn't too many conflicts, there wasn't too many issues across the board. There wasn't anything involving myself as far as having to differentiate between being a commissioner and being an assistant coach. I keep those 2 separate. I don't try, I do. That way, if I'm standing on a commissioner's hat on or an assistant coach's hat on. So let's talk the way forward. Next year. This year we did a 7-week schedule that spread out from October to April, and I had room for leeway because of mission requirements, this, that, and that's great. I want to keep that sort of same schedule. The only thing next year is I'm looking to do 8 weeks. And the reason I want to do 8 weeks is this, and this is my proposal to you guys, because you're okay for me to then go ahead and do a schedule in July. I want to do a divisional/conference games versus non-conference games. This year we had it where you only played your conference, everybody in your division. And I know it started to drag on, and towards the end of the year, everybody got tired of playing everybody 10, 12 times. So I want to turn that around next year. And what we're going to do next year is your first 4 games, your first 4 weeks that you play from October through the Christmas holiday break and New Year will be non-conference, non-divisional games. In other words, if Al's in the West, he will not see a team from the West until after New Year's. So you'll go somewhere and play a Central and a North team or a Central and a South team and vice versa. Now what does that mean for you guys? What it means for you guys is going to be a little more traveling for the first 4 weeks. This is why I need to propose it to you guys as the coaches. I need to know that you're going to be able, let me stop there. I'm not going to send Offit to Fort Sam. Okay? I'm not going to do that. I would have him come in the middle somewhere. And that's how I plan on working the schedule. So 6-7 hour drive at the most. Some of you guys are doing that already. Some of you guys only have to go right down the street. You know? I mean, I'm just saying, Tinker, Fort Sill, you know, y'all can pretty much spit on each other. So, but with that being said, so like, if I get your guys okay, and you don't have to answer it now, just think about it, let me know by the end of the tournament. That's what we're going to look to go to next year. First 4 weeks will be non-conference, non-divisional games where you play the other divisions. The last 4 weeks after January will be your divisional games where you see everybody in the West, everybody in the Central, everybody in the North, everybody in the South. That way we have a non-conference and we have a conference schedule, kind of like the NCAA. That's what I'm looking to kind of pattern it after. So that's the first thing. Any questions on that before I move on to that? Trying to keep it going. Okay. Any objections to it right off the bat? Hey, y'all are quiet. A bunch of former retirees and all. Y'all too get quiet. All right. Anyway, the second thing. I know I mentioned on the conference call that it was brought to my attention about doing and this is for everybody, a collaborative now, doing an all-star team from the Central United States Basketball League to take next year up to the Capital Classic. Now, let me stop there. If you still want to take your own team, I know you guys went this year. I know you guys have gone in the past. Carson's gone. Didn't you guys go once or twice? Not yet? Okay. If you want to take your team and go to the Classic, no hard feelings, no ill will. Take your team, Kyle. Go to the Classic and play. That's fine. But we're looking to put together an all-star team, 2 or 3 players from each team in the conference, with a coach and a coaching staff from the conference, travel to DC, be there pretty much the week before so they can get some practice together, play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and bring championship back here to Central. So, with that being said, I'm going to say it now because I didn't say it then. Coach Acevedo was the first one that brought it up to me when they came back from the Classic this year. So, if we get to go ahead from the coaches and everything, I told him because of this year, I would let him be the head coach for next year's team. And he would have a coaching staff of guys that want to be able to help